All right. Right now, there's a terrifying report and an allegation that Trump right now is being or was intentionally locked out of the Situation Room during a critical operation in Iran. Apparently, he's in such a volatile state that he's screaming at aides and top generals are restricting his access. Perhaps maybe this is it. Donald Trump is going to be the guy to hit the red button that says nuke and says, what does this button do? Or either that, just push it, because also apparently, according to some reports, that he is bored of this war. Well, gee, Trump, maybe don't do anything stupid like start a pointless war and have us get stuck in it where Americans are financially getting bankrupt, broke, and scared if we're all going to be vaporized by atomic fire. And then, hey, let's also hear this as well. Apparently, there's also oil deals, backroom trading that's being done. So the rich are getting richer. We're being sent off to die for this war for Israel. I mean, what's the whole point? For this country to be broke? And then what? Then what? Are we going to have a deal? We're going to get somehow miraculously bailed out by, I don't know, powers that be? And the only way to earn citizenship is to fight and die for Israel now? The only way to be financially free and away from debt is to serve 10 years in the Israeli army? Is that what's going to happen to the USA? I don't know. Not trying to be paranoid here, but it's almost like, we're being led into a war that's going to systematically destroy us. I mean, even when the Roman Empire went down, at least it had dignity. And that's not saying much. But my goodness, here we are. But look, these are the reports. These are the allegations that are right now coming out. Apparently, Donald J. Trump is so volatile that was he really screaming about pushing a nuke button and generals had to step in to stop him?
There's also been reports that Trump was, in fact, intentionally excluded from the Situation Room during the recent critical operation in Iran to rescue US airmen there. According to the Wall Street Journal, Trump was in such a volatile state that, I quote, he spent hours screaming at aides in the West Wing. Military officials made the call to limit his access and update him only when needed on the phone. So whilst we don't have proof of verified nuclear strike intent, there does seem to be a gap here between the US president's rhetoric and the stance taken by his Joint Chiefs of Staff. And I think that's really what has fanned the flames of this story, Sharon.
Okay, so that's one allegation. We did talk about a few other reports there, too, about whether or not Trump is being purposely removed from the Situation Room because the man is not well in the head. And that doesn't surprise me because this is who Donald Trump is. Why is he acting like this if he's supposedly winning? I mean, he's saying that he has a deal with Iran. He's talking about a ceasefire. Now the ceasefire's off. Apparently, there's more shooting. His blockade is not blocking Iranian boats. Trump is, and the U.S. fleet are now going after foreign vessels with oil on them. I mean, here's the thing. And maybe on the off chance Trump or the Epstein administration or either that, maybe people with brains are watching this. But perhaps if you didn't bomb Iran, we wouldn't be here. Oh, hold on. I think I just blew all your minds. If we didn't cause a war, these troubles wouldn't be here. If we didn't hurt these people, we would not be in trouble. Oh, no. Wow, what a big brain decision. Hey, listen, that's probably going to get me canceled. And perhaps, you know what? It's offended 99.9% of my audience. Kit, I'm unsubscribing. How dare you use common sense? How dare you, sir? How simply dare you? But look, he's getting bored. According to Axios, he's getting bored. He's getting bored of a war that he started on behalf of his friend Habibi Bibi. Remember, this isn't our war. It's the Israeli war. Operation Epstein Fury. I mean, Operation Epic Fury. Never forget, U.S. forces, the reason why you're fighting and dying over there in that region, the reason why you guys are being deployed, the reason why your boats are starting to be filled up with crap, and you guys are eating Soylent Green equivalent or Soylent Green 1.0 is because you're fighting for Jeffrey Epstein. Absolute joker. Never forget who you're fighting for.
I mean, he keeps doing this. He ratchets up the rhetoric every time we're at the end of a ceasefire or demanding, that they respond to us in some way. And Trump escalates the rhetoric. And that Wall Street Journal article the other day made really clear why he was doing that and really kind of exposed how it's a tactic. And he admitted that it was a tactic to aides who then spoke to the Wall Street Journal. And this also talked about this article about how he is trying to seem unstable and wanted it to be as unstable and insulting as possible, believing it could bring the Iranians to the table. That post about a whole civilization will die, he saw it as a way to spur negotiations in a war the president was desperately ready to end. Axios reporting today that Trump is bored of this war and wants it over. Whatever. You know, maybe it wasn't the best thing to start if you didn't have the patience to actually see it through. That's what his supporters of the war might say. I mean, those of us who have been against it from the beginning would like to see it wrapped up, whether it's out of boredom or not. It's really too bad that the cost of American lives isn't the motivator. It's that Trump has moved on to other things because he has the attention span of a gnat.
Hey, don't forget, guys. Listen, not trying. Listen, because I get a lot of bull. I still get bullshit from the Sun sometimes. Like, oh, you supported Tulsi and you supported Bernie. Yeah. Look, I did. And you know something? Listen, don't forget. A lot of these people, they did support. They did support one Donald Trump. And it's surprising to see that we have a president acting like this, I mean, it's very clear to me that he's not running the show, or either that he just wants out of it. Remember, I think he tried to end it. He tried to do everything he can to delay this war. And I don't think he expected it to go on this long, right? I don't think he expected Iran to have the resolution and the Constitution within itself to continue on this fight. Trump, you are forever going to be remembered by the Iranian people as the guy who did these bombings on behalf of Israel and killed their religious leader, the Ayatollah. You turned him into a martyr during Ramadan. Like, stuff like that has not been seen during the Crusades. Okay, and I'm being generous here. Okay, I do apologize if I'm overextending myself. I do apologize to the history nerds that I have out there that I love so much. But I mean, you turned the Ayatollah, Donald Trump, Reagan, Bush Sr., Bill Clinton, Bush Jr., and Obama, and even senile Biden would not have done anything stupid like you have done. You turned the Ayatollah into a religious martyr, and his son has taken his place. Stupid! They're never going to let you let that off, and the Trump name will be associated with that for generations down the road. What were you thinking? And you want this war to end? You killed the most reasonable people probably within that administration, within the Iranian administration. That's what you did. Who wants to come to the table now? In fact, hey, look, this is why I love AI. I love AI sometimes, because sometimes people just go ham on it. Sometimes people just go a little bit crazy, and it's epic level trolling here. Trump, who are you talking to? Yeah, he did it. Pakistan's request. But also, look, it's very suspicious, A lot of these posts that Donald Trump is doing. I want to give a huge shout out to Hotspot. This is a video from the BBC. Perhaps maybe this is another reason why Trump is so irritable. He wants to make more money, and this war is costing him money. Now, I'm not saying insider trading isn't being done, because it is. Of course it is. Come on, this is DC we're talking about. Even the ancient Romans had more integrity, and that's not saying much.
Now, the BBC has found a pattern of spikes in trades and financial markets ahead of public announcements by US President Donald Trump, including during the Iran war. It's raised suspicions of insider trading, whereby bets are made by people based on information that is not available to the general public. Though some have argued certain traders have become more adept at anticipating the president's interventions. Let's talk to our business correspondent, Nick Marsh, for more on this. Nick, tell us what you found.
Well, quite a lot of examples of these spikes, Sally. I'll just give you the first one I found, and one of the most prominent ones. It's on the 23rd of March. Trump had spent the weekend preceding that threatening Iran's power plants, much like he is now. But then suddenly, on the Monday morning, before the stock market opened in the US, he said that the United States had had very good and productive conversations with Tehran over a complete and total resolution to hostilities. That's what he posted on Truth Social.
Yeah, who is he talking to? Because there's supposedly an extended ceasefire. Now, again, some boats are being shot at. I mean, look, that large coastal area belongs to Iran. Listen, I'm pretty sure that there are some big-brained individuals in the CIA. Hey, shout out to my CIA handlers. But you guys have done so spent money too. I said money, many. You guys spend so much money on all these simulations and programs where, going to Iran, the juice ain't worth the squeeze, right? That's it. Listen, you had extremists in Iran waiting like this for a moment like this, like a horny kangaroo ready to jump out of hell. I mean, what's wrong with you? Sorry for my colorful language here, folks. To my CIA handlers, I know you want to say, oh, we got to keep on canceling suppression. Don't worry. I've been canceled so much, ain't nobody knowing what I'm doing no more. But you know I'm right. Who's Trump talking to? This is their country. There's no way out of it now. The only way this war is going to end is if there truly is a sit down and an immediate ceasefire and Israel doesn't fuck it up. Don't worry, they will. They'll find a way to do it. Israel doesn't want us peace. No, they don't want peace. They want to create something that looks like a shoe, a lady's shoe for greater Israel. I don't know, whatever that design is. Talk about a horrible design, too.
So then oil drops by 14%, which is understandable. You go back, though, and look at the trading volume data, and you see a massive spike in the number of oil futures contracts exchanged between about 14 to 16 minutes before the post. That's hundreds of millions of dollars, and those traders will have made a huge amount of money through what's known as short selling. That's just one example of quite a few that I found, Sally.
And Nick, you've also been looking at these prediction markets, which have exploded in popularity in the past couple of years.
Yeah, so the two main ones really are Polymarket and Kalshi. You might have heard about them. They're websites powered by blockchain. You can bet on anything really, from the weather to baseball to US foreign policy. It's like a very simple yes or no mechanism, whether something will happen or not. Donald Trump's son, by the way, Donald Trump Jr., is an investor in Polymarket. He sits on its advisory board as well as on Kalshi's advisory board. We have contacted him, incidentally, but no response. But yes, on these predictions markets, people have been making an awful lot of money around American military action around the world. For example, I saw one user called Burdensome Mix set up an account on Polymarket in December last year. And between the 30th of December and the 2nd of January, this account placed $32,000 on Nicolas Maduro, the Venezuelan president, being ousted. The next day, he was seized by US Special Forces, and the account made nearly $500,000. Then it changed its name.
Yeah, how'd they know that? How'd they know that would happen? By the way, again, President Maduro supposedly, allegedly, head of a booger sugar cartel. Yep. And I'm the new king of Italy. That's right. I'm claiming the crown of Italy by divine conquest.
And hasn't placed a bet since. There are also similar bets being placed on US strikes on Iran, for example. We spoke to Polymarket. It told the BBC that it sets and maintains and enforces the highest standards of market integrity. And it said that it proactively works with law enforcement to do so. And in March this year, both Polymarket and Kalshi outlined new rules to crack down on insider trading.
And what about the White House? What has the response been from the White House to these allegations?
No response when I contacted them. Spokespeople in the past have made it clear that they do strenuously deny any form of insider trading involving the White House. There was one who told another outlet last month it didn't tolerate any administration official illegally profiteering off of insider knowledge. There's always the possibility, Sally, that traders are getting better at predicting when Trump will make a U-turn or market conditions signal he might intervene in some way. Traders get ahead of that. You can't rule that out. But it's the consistency of these spikes, and it's how often it happens before Trump says something that's got people raising eyebrows.
Okay, Nick.
It doesn't surprise me. Politicians coming into office to enriching themselves, huh? Democrat, Republican, doesn't matter in the end. We're all going to get screwed up the wazoo. As it stands right now here, let me depress you guys even further. A Tuesday report from climate advocacy group 350.org estimates that during the first 50 days of the Iran war, consumers and businesses worldwide have paid an additional 158 to 166 billion due to soaring fuel costs. Right, again, ahead of the extension right now. What Donald Trump is trying to state here is President Donald Trump on Tuesday afternoon extended a 2-week ceasefire for his and Israel's war in Iran, but the U.S. leader also said that the naval blockade in the Mideast nation will continue, and fears of fresh attacks remain high. 2 weeks after threatening to take out the whole civilization of Iran, just hours before the ceasefire agreement was reached, Trump took the Truth Social platform again to announce the extension without a clear timeline, even though, again, do we have a clear timeline? Look, here we go. Here's his Truth Social post here. President Donald Trump extends ceasefire after canceling talks in Pakistan. Based on the fact that the government of Iran is seriously fractured, not unexpected so, and upon request of Field Marshal Asamir and Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif of Pakistan, we have been asked to hold our attack on the country of Iran until such time as their leaders and representatives can come up with a unified proposal. They're hiding because they know you'll take them out. They're not that stupid. Every time you've called them out for a sit-down, they've been bombed. And dare I say it, like at this point, look at how Israel's handled Hamas, Lebanon, Syria. Anytime the leaders come to the table, they usually get died or blown up. Don't forget that pager incident. I mean, every time there's a sit-down happening, Israel, maybe it's the USA too, go ahead and bomb the leaders. Kill the people coming to the sit-down. You have killed the most reasonable people that you could have done a deal with Trump. If you're so bored with this war and you're being a puppet to Habibi Bibi, well, guess what? They're not going to come to the table. They learned the lesson. They know that they have to have a certain situation for them knowing that if they come to a sit down, that they're walking back. That the whole point of a sit down is a sit down. Even Alphonse Capone knew that, but Alphonse Capone didn't do anything wrong. He only went to jail for not paying taxes, which, by the way, in my book now, the more I look back at it, he's an American hero. They didn't get him for any crime syndication. They got him for not paying taxes. That's as American as it can get. General George Washington would be proud of Alphonse Capone. How dare you, kid? So right now, I have directed our military to continue to blockade and in all other respects remain ready and able, and will therefore extend the ceasefire until such time as their proposal is submitted and discussions are concluded. One way or another, President Donald J. Trump. Oh, whoop-de-freaking-do. So in other words, there's no way out. We're stuck here. And this man is being barred, allegedly, from being in the Situation Room because he probably wants to end it. He wants to end it so badly, but BBBB won't let him do it. If Trump were able to even negotiate a ceasefire, I'm willing to bet it. 10 out of 10, I'm 100% certain that Israeli airplanes would be continuing to do bombings. I'm willing to bet that. That is a solid fact. This isn't open for a debate. If, let's say in a hypothetical scenario, Donald Trump was able to get a good agreement with Iran, ceasefire, U.S.-Iran not fighting each other, U.S. fleet leaves, it is within my 100% certainty, Israel would still bomb Iran. They don't want peace. But it's okay. What can we learn from this? Before the nukes drop, before we're all vaporized by atomic fire, and I got to tell you, there's a lot I want to do, we should know this, that we can't vote our way out of this. No, I don't think things would be better if Kamala or Biden were in office. I mean, a genocide was still happening under Biden and Kamala. Look what happened to the people of Gaza. They're all dead. They're all dying. Democrats aren't going to help us. We got to show the world that we're not for this. Simple as that.
With Operation Epic Fury. It's only good if you win, and we won in the first hour. Open the fucking straight, you crazy bastards, or you'll be living in hell. Just watch! A whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. I don't want that to happen, but it probably will. Iran is charging seas to tankers going through the Hormuz Strait. They better not be in, and if they are, they better stop now! The leadership is dead! The Strait of Hormuz will soon be open. Iran decided to fire bullets yesterday in the Strait of Hormuz total violation of our ceasefire agreement. No more Mr. Nice Guy! They'll come down fast, they'll come down easy, and if they don't take the deal, it will be my honor to do what has to be done. We're fighting wars we can't take care of. Daycare. Anyone sick of winning yet?
Ah, well,